Good morning, kids. How is everybody doing? I hope you're all doing great and dandy. I have my coffee. I hope you have yours too. And welcome to another episode, I guess, of The Abyss. I am, of course, your host, The Eternal Abyss. How is everybody doing? Uh, quick note before we start, because I usually greet everybody on all the various platforms that I'm on. Obviously, I want to greet everybody as usual on all the platforms that I'm on. I want to greet everybody on Bitwave, Periscope, YouTube, Float. Um, I'd say hello to people on D Live, but I'm not streaming on D Live today because there seems to be some issue going on. I can't update the title when I try to um like re-add it to my restreamer. I'm getting all of these API errors, so I don't know what the heck is going on. I also want to say hello to everybody on Twitch. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with D Live. Something goofy's going on. I have no idea. So if it gets fixed, great. Hopefully by next time, that'll be all resolved. But if not, I guess we're not gonna have D Live for a while until that gets situated. I don't know what's going on with that. So there's that. I don't have a whole lot lined up of what I want to talk about because this weekend has been a little insane for me. I've mentioned this before. Like recently, right now, I'm going through a lot of issues. Really, when it comes to work, location, uh, internet, things like that. So I'm trying to sort a lot of that stuff out. So that's why my streaming has been. I mean, actually, it's been relatively consistent, oddly enough, ever since I started again. um, so hey, I mean, we've got that. So I don't know. I was kind of looking over the news a little bit over the weekend. I wasn't really doing a whole lot of digging and looking into. There's some interesting stuff that's going on. There's still a lot of remorse and regret from people that voted for Biden. It seems there's just one account I like to follow that shows that archives all the tweets of all the people that voted for Biden and that are livid with him. Just livid with him. It's pretty funny. At the end of the day, because everybody's like, they're like, oh, we're gonna give you the latest gripe that I've seen is that people are complaining, saying, "You promised $2,000 relief day one," and the Biden administration dictatorship said, "We're gonna give you 1,400. So with the additional, with the 600 that you got before, that'll be a total of 2,000." So it's like, really, you can't stick to one promise that you made. Can you stick to at least one? One. One. Apparently not. Apparently that's not in the cards for the Biden dictatorship. Um, Let me do some quick social media stuff here. I need to um just post the fact that I'm streaming, even though I don't really gain much from that. Just a habit at this point. But yeah, I would recommend to everybody to follow that account. It's actually really good. It's called. Let me see what it's called. It's called at Biden L's, like Biden L and the letter S, as in Sam. Um, it's pretty funny. Just going through that thread, it shows how people are just so angry at everything that the Biden dictatorship is doing. Um, It's good times. Oh boy. And I'm not surprised because I mean, listen, if you would have looked at the history of Biden, all right, the guy has been ridiculous in his history. I mean, there's no reason to believe that he would fulfill anything that he said. No reason at all. Yet I guess to some people that doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, the whole election didn't matter. But that's a whole different discussion. Come on, Minds doesn't want to load properly. There we go. Why am I logged out of Minds? I swear, these platforms are so goofy sometimes. There we are. All right. Now I can focus a bit more. Did you guys hear that Screech died? Yeah. Screech from Saved by the Bell. Apparently he had cancer. Apparently it was like a pretty quick thing. Dustin Diamond. He died at 44. Young. Very young. He was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. This was like in January. So, yeah, it's insane. Who'da thunk? I don't even know if he was like a heavy smoker or anything like that. Like, what would cause that? In his case, I don't know. I really have no idea. But hey, Padre, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, Screech died very young. I'm surprised about that. Not that I was the biggest fan of Saved by the Bell. When it first came out, it was rather amusing. But I was more of a, like, for those kind of... Damning on Chuz for Lord J Dax. Are you, sir? Oh, that's good. I was less of a fan of Saved by the Bell and more of a fan of Parker Lewis Can't Lose when I was younger. I don't know if a lot of people remember Parker Lewis Can't Lose. I don't know why. I just found that way funnier. Because there was like this absurdity to Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Hey, Troll Sab H. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but thanks for coming to the stream. None of us can. I can't type, so I don't expect people to Hey, if I can't type, my expectation of other people is the same for me. Oh, pancakes would be awesome. Holy cow, now I want pancakes. Thanks, Padre. Thank you. Thank you. I do have coffee though. Bacon scramble. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds good. Try to take a sip of my coffee without burning myself. 1 second. Now my coffee's good temperature. It's not too hot. I like hot, but not so hot that it burns you, you know? You have bacon in the freezer? Oh, well, make it, yeah. Make it happen, dude. Oh, fight the laziness. There's bacon involved. Come on. There is no lazy when there's bacon involved. Toast will do. But anyways, have you heard about this whole I've talked about this Wall Street thing. It's ongoing. They're not stopping. They're not the Wall Street Boogaloo is ongoing, friends and neighbors. Now they put the squeeze on silver. I actually, you know what? I have not checked. Let's check the markets. Let's see how silver is doing, kids. Geez, I started pretty late, didn't I? Oh, I didn't realize it was already close to 11. And it actually, I mean, it is 11 Eastern Standard Time. Let's see here. Let me get my market app up here. There's an app for everything. Let's see. I'm surprised the markets are actually up right now. I mean, they're not really climbing that much. They're pretty, like, flatlined. But they are in the green, technically. See, I don't understand. This is the thing about markets well, I mean, on one side I don't understand it, on the other side I do. Yes, please listen to the troll. If you like me, buy me a coffee. If you don't, consider buying me one anyways. Because why not? Oop, I got a message here. Let me check that real quick. I'm multitasking live. Okay, no big deal. But I was gonna check silver. That's what I was gonna do. I wanted to see what the value of silver is at this point. Let's see. Silver. Was it SLV, I believe? Sorry for the silence. I'm reading these messages that are coming into me here. But anyways, moving on. I'm not gonna. But the thing I was gonna say about the market is this: like, the one thing that I don't understand, and I do understand about the market, is that I don't understand how, like, with all the bad press of social media, all this stuff that's happening with Reddit, the markets are still, like, today, for example, they're in the green. And I know on one side that it's all manipulated anyways. So it's like, whatever. There's not much credence to put into that sort of stuff at this point, because if you have companies and governments going out of their way to try and protect hedge funds, you know that the markets are very much manipulated. I mean, that it's a given, because that's what the hedge funds are doing. That's what China is doing. That's what governments are doing. They're just all manipulating currencies and markets and all that kind of stuff. So I want to see what happens with this whole Reddit thing with the Wall Street bets. I think it's going to be pretty epic, because I mean, so far one hedge fund already had to file for bankruptcy, so that's interesting. What's going on? Britbong was owned by a tranny. What? I'm gonna need some details about that. What's going on with that? Can someone clue me in? I wasn't on Bitwave during the weekend, so I'm not up and up on what's going on. Excuse me if I sound also congested. As I've mentioned, I've been having a lot of sinus issues right now, and God, it's just infuriating and frustrating. But yeah, I want to see what's going to happen with these Wall Street bets. I think it's going to be very interesting. In other unrelated news, I mean, other things that are coming up in the trends right now and in the news is that, AOC is the eternal victim, of course, because she can't just, she always has to make it about herself in some form or another. She is like the narcissist supreme. Now she says she's a sexual assault survivor and describes the trauma of a capital insurrection. It was not an insurrection. Okay, let's just make this clear. Her ridiculous rhetoric that people were out to kill her or murder her is absolute hyperbolic trash. All right. And this woman has no idea what the fuck trauma really means. I can promise you that. She lived in a well-to-do neighborhood in Westchester, New York. And she describes her experience as a near-death experience. She doesn't even know what the fuck that means. Okay? It's ridiculous. I'm a survivor of a sexual assault. That's what she says. I'm trying to read through the article. I haven't read through the article because I just want to see what the hell, if she even talks about what the sexual assault is. Doesn't seem like she does. So, let's see. Sorry, I'm just reading through this garbage. I don't know. I don't see any details in this article about what alleged sexual assaults she survived. She just says she's a survivor of sexual assault. So she gives me no evidence about what that is. Now, let me just be clear about something though. You know, I am the type of person that if someone says they're a victim of something, fine. You're a victim of something. Okay? If you feel that you're a victim of something, you feel you're a victim of something. I'm not going to say that you're full of shit or anything like that. I will say this though. When you have someone like AOC who A, she's the stupidest person on this planet. B, she takes every opportunity to make herself out as the victim because she's done this many times before. It leads me to believe that she is full of shit, though. And if she wants me to believe her, then she is going to have to provide me some evidence because of her history. It's kind of like the boy that cries wolf. If you keep crying wolf, how am I supposed to believe you then when there actually is a wolf? Red Bong is a cross-dresser and solicited pics and sent them to Jankin, and so Jankin posted them on the channel and posted his below McDonald's. Wow. So I don't know. I mean, see, to me, going back to this whole AOC thing, to me, the thing is this. If this person has a history of being a pathological liar, saying the stupidest things on this planet, constantly putting herself out there to be the victim, then it's difficult for me to believe when she says anything. Much less when she talks about victimhood, because she even lied about where she grew up. I mean, this woman lies constantly. So how am I supposed? Like, I want to be sympathetic to people. Don't get me wrong. Like, let's remove the politics from this for a moment. I want to be sympathetic towards people. Everybody has had some difficulties in their life. People have had trauma in their lives. It's a natural part of being alive. Some have experienced more trauma than others. So that's the thing for me. It's like, if you're going to tell me something, don't give me this kind of history of what you act, like how you act and what you do and what you say. And like I said, removing the politics from it, I'm more than happy to give anybody the benefit of the doubt. And I understand that people go through trauma. Everybody has. Like I was saying, some more than others. I have had mine. I'm sure you've had yours. She probably has had hers. I don't even doubt that maybe she has had some trauma in her life. But I can promise you, though, I'm willing to put money on this, that she has made a habit, a lifestyle choice. This is something about how she acts and how she operates in life, most likely, and as a politician especially, to just be hyperbolic, to lie, to accuse others of what she's guilty of. So, I've known people that are victims of trauma. Different types of trauma. I'm not even talking about sexual assault, but I have known people that I knew this person that had been raped, for example. Okay. I knew this person for a period of time. You could tell when there's a serious trauma like that. Okay, for the most part, you can tell. I'm not saying that this person did anything particularly insane. It's just like little nuances, you know? So I don't buy it, honestly. I think this is AOC being the usual AOC, being hyperbolic, making herself out as the victim because she wants sympathy, and she wants to do this appeal to emotion, which is what Democrats do a lot. And not just Democrats, actually, let's be fair, it's politicians in general. A lot of times politicians do that. They do this appeal to emotion because they want you to feel sorry. They want you to feel an emotional reaction to something. They want you to be emotional and not rational. And it's very easy to manipulate someone when you're manipulating their emotions. If you're trying to convince someone rationally about something, it's much harder. Because rationally, if you go to someone and say, change your mind for this pragmatic reason, most of the time they're going to be like, well, I don't, maybe not, I don't know. I don't see why I should change that, this and that. They would argue with you. It becomes an academic thing. It becomes an adversarial thing, a debate thing. You appeal to someone's emotion. Oh, lo, I have 12 grandmothers that I need to take care of. Lo, I have 20 kids that are starving. Lo, I only have 1 square of toilet paper. Help me. Most people are going to be like, oh, geez, you have 12 grandmothers, 20 kids that are going hungry, and only 1 square of toilet paper? Here, I have $1, So so if you appeal and make people out as being eternal victims, then painting them in that fashion is always going to put them in a certain light in the eyes of people. That's why politically, identity politics and politically making this kind of victim Olympics that occurs, it's the modus operandi in how politics functions, because whatever group is the biggest victim Olympics winner gets the most attention from politicians. Oh, I belong to all these oppressed groups, these 20 different oppressed groups, versus that guy's only 19. So it's like, okay, well, you got your victim, your victim with 20 labels on there, then you definitely need more help than Mr. 19 over there. That's how it works in politics. So, the thing is this, it's just, I wish people would not do that. I wish people would not use, and let's pretend that AOC really is telling the truth. Okay, let's pretend she's being honest. Let's pretend she's being truthful. Let's pretend she's being sincere. even if that's all true, even if that's all true, I really wish people would not use their victimhood to gain sympathy. I really wish people wouldn't do that because this is the problem. If someone is a victim of anything, if they've been subjected to any sort of trauma, if you use that to advance yourself in a certain way, get money, advance yourself politically, advance yourself in terms of work and a career, what have you. I think that that does a great disservice to those that actually went through those same traumas as you. Now, if you do advocacy work, if you have a nonprofit for like rape victims or things like that, that's different. And I'm perfectly okay with that. I think it's perfectly fine to have support groups, advocacy groups, things like that, where you want to help these people. You do fundraisers and organize to help victims. But if you use your victimhood for your own personal self-serving reasons, then that's where I take issue with it. That's where I have a problem with it. Drinking some coffee, excuse me. So I take issue with that sort of thing. I'm not a big fan of that. And I find that social media a lot of times amplifies that too. It's like, who's the biggest victim? Who has the biggest megaphone about how victimized they are? Get over it. Get over it. I've had my traumas in my life and I've had to get over them without anybody helping me. I didn't have anybody trying to help me, any advocacy groups or politicians or anybody to help me. In fact, quite the opposite. I had people literally spitting in my face. So, I have sympathy for real victims. I don't have sympathy for people like AOC because she's an opportunist. She's a liar and she's stupid as hell. So, that's what that boils down to for me. And some people may view that as harsh, but it's just to me, it's just the reality of who she is and what she does and how she acts. I'm basing my judgment on her, and call it a judgment, sure, but I'm basing that off of her own behavior and words. I don't even have. This is the funniest thing. I don't even have a personal animus towards her. I don't hate her or anything. I don't care about her at the end of the day. Like, at the end of the day, I got my life to live. I couldn't care less about her. But when I see stuff like this, I have to express my opinion on it. I have to react because it's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's dumb. So, anywho, excuse me. The other thing that I actually just want to mention briefly that I found very interesting is the fact that Texas. I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend, but there's this article that Texas is very much interested in. Let me get the article. I'll put it in chat in Bitwave. So let's see. Yeah, here's the link. Okay. Where's Bitwave chat? Put it in Bitwave chat. And I'll put it in chat in my other. That should be correct if I'm not mistaken. Yes, sir. There we go. And I'll put it in my other chat too. Give me one moment to put it in the other chat stuff. If this loads quick enough. Here we go. All right. There. So that went to Periscope, Twitch, and YouTube. All right. So for anyone that happens to be watching on the other restreams. So Kyle Biederman, I suppose that's how it's pronounced, files for the Texas Independence Referendum Act. So basically, what this is it's essentially he is filing for secession. I know we talked about this in streams before that, maybe one of the solutions to this current dictatorship is a state like Texas to secede, which could start a domino effect of other states to follow along, much like the Supreme Court case. And he tweets saying that for decades, the promises of America and our individual liberties have been eroding. Now is the time for the people of Texas to have the right to decide their own future. And in a way, I kind of agree. I don't want to see the United States be broken up, honestly, but if this is the only solution, then I don't know. It may be the only solution. And honestly, if Texas does secede from the Union, holy crap, I'm probably going to move there like lickety split. You know? And, you know, I would like to see, I would like to see where that goes. Because if any state is going to do something like this and actually pull it off, it probably is going to be Texas. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'm going to keep my eye on that, and we're going to see what's going down with that. Hunter Biden is now trending as well, because I guess there's something going on with... Let's see. Ex-colleague of Hunter Biden's lawyer gets top DOJ post. So let's see. Ex-colleague of Hunter Biden's lawyer gets top DOJ post. Hunter Biden hired a new attorney to assist with his federal criminal defense a month before his father became dictator, let's be accurate. On Inauguration Day, one of the lawyer's close colleagues was tapped to temporarily lead the Justice Department's criminal division. The moves put the new DOJ officials atop a powerful arm of the justice system, as his former colleague represents a client fending off a criminal probe. While their connection will fuel scrutiny of a politically charged matter, ethics experts say strictly adhering to conflict of interest rules can address any legitimate concerns. In December, Hunter Biden hired former federal prosecutor Chris Clark, a partner in the law firm Latham and Watkins. The president's younger son is said to be under investigation for possible tax and money laundering activities, with a potential counterintelligence component, and selling access to his father, and also being a pedophile. But let's not talk about that stuff. So McQuaid, a former federal prosecutor, was tapped in January to serve as principal deputy assistant attorney general in the criminal division. Additionally, he was installed as the acting assistant attorney general to replace the Trump appointee, making McQuaid one of a handful of acting AAGs appointed by Biden's first day as dictator in office. The president has yet to announce a nominee to permanently fill the post. The dictator, not president. It's not clear whether or to what extent the main branch of Justice Department is involved in the Hunter Biden investigation. While the investigation is being run by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware, that doesn't necessarily preclude involvement of Justice Department sections in Washington. It can really be quite ad hoc in the level of interactivity, said John A. Horn, a former U.S. Attorney in Georgia. So basically, there may be ethical questions about this person in the Department of Justice, being that his son is a corrupt piece of shit. That should have been in jail a long time ago. So, and I know, and I'm seeing like on the left, they're saying, "Oh, this is a non-story. This is a non-story. This is a non-story." Of course, yeah. Sure it is. So, what, today's Groundhog Day? Is that right? Because oh, today is Groundhog Day. Wow. Let's see what happens with that. Because I saw De Blasio was trending on Twitter because apparently 7 years ago he murdered a groundhog. Because he basically dropped a groundhog and it hit its head and it got internal injuries. It's not funny. I mean, I don't want to laugh at this. But he's basically responsible. The groundhog died a week after New York Mayor Bill de Blasio dropped it. I mean, come on. Unbelievable. Yeah, I can't believe that was 7 years ago already. Good lord, it's been a while. I thought that happened like more recently. Well, anyways, moving on. Fuck, Texas weed is evil there. Website seems to be working for me, troll. I don't know. Try refreshing. Sometimes in the past when I that's happened to me when I've logged in and it doesn't like update. You just need to refresh it and usually it works out. But yeah, good times. You know, murdering groundhogs. Jeez. That kind of encapsulates Bill de Blasio perfectly in my view. Honestly. I really feel that it does. I mean, the guy's just horrible. Just horrible. I don't see anything like there's nothing positive about him as mayor. There's nothing positive about him as a human being, it seems. He seems like a complete piece of garbage. So, I don't know. That's basically what's going on right now. That's my updates so far. I can check real quick what else is going on here in the news. Because, like I said, I haven't really prepared a whole lot. So, let's see. Oh yeah, this is also news. I heard about this over the weekend. That Biden dictatorship eyes Rahm Emanuel for ambassadorship. Yeah, because he did such a wonderful job in Chicago. You know, that really is a key to making a decision about who you're going to choose as ambassador. Choose the person that did the shittiest job you can imagine. Turn an already bad city into a ginormous trash heap. And that's the guy you want to pick for an ambassador because that's leadership. Ridiculous. We live in a clown world. That's really what it is. We live in a clown world. And that's the other thing, speaking of other stuff that's in the news, it's like how people are treated and viewed. For example, um, you have Jen Psaki, who has been quoted saying that she treats reporters like she's an orderly in an insane asylum, and then she wants pre-screened questions now. I don't know if you guys heard about this. She wants pre-screened questions. She wants all the questions to come in beforehand so she can screen them and then answer whatever. Because she's utterly unprepared. She has no clue what she's doing. She can't answer any question. She can't handle any question. I don't really care about weed, so to me, its legality is irrelevant. I actually find that it being legal a problem because it raises taxes. So I shouldn't have to pay for more police force because people want to smoke weed and then drive. Because now I got to see billboards just like the alcohol thing saying, "Oh, don't drink and drive, don't smoke and drive, don't be high and drive," and all this kind of stuff. So now I'm paying more because now they got to enforce more because people are engaging in more debauchery. So that's my only take about weed being legal generally is that's the problem that I have when you legalize those kind of substances is that you're putting more police force to do more work. Oh yeah, I've been talking about that troll, W4JQ. I've been talking about the game stonk. The memes are beautiful. The memes are quite beautiful. Excuse me one moment here. I gotta blow my nose. 1 second. Okay, hopefully I sound a little better now. Well, I don't know if those weed taxes are used for those billboards. The point is this. My point is this. My taxes go to police force for everything. Okay? Well, there are studies that show that extended use of weed, first of all, damages your brain. Any chemical substance, if abused, will do damage to you. Period. Even caffeine. Like I drink coffee. I admit I drink coffee. If I drink too many cups of coffee, that's gonna hurt my arteries. That's gonna hurt me. Okay? Well, see, you don't necessarily need weed as a painkiller. You can use the chemical substances inside weed. You don't need the high part of weed. That's what I'm talking about. No, hey, I'm not saying I'm not saying people aren't free to do what they want. I listen. I'm a firm believer in do whatever the hell you want, but I'm not going to pay for it. That's what it boils down to. It's not a matter of if I want you to do something or not. I just don't want to pay for it. Don't I have a right to know where my money is going and have a say in where my money is going? Well, show me where those billboards. That billboard was an example, first of all, but I'm saying that show me that those taxes. No, I don't want to make coffee illegal. All I'm saying is that chemicals, if you abuse anything, it'll harm you. It can harm your arteries, it can harm your digestive system, it could harm your nervous system, it could harm your brain. If you want to do harm to yourself, even eating excessive sugar does that. It rots your teeth, for example. That's your choice. Do it. Fine. But my only thing is, yeah, like there's a net profit for gambling and alcohol and all that kind of stuff. Yet at the same time, you have so many deaths related to alcohol, so many broken families related to alcohol, so much abuse that's happened because of that, so much long-term damage to people to their bodies. So really what it boils down to is this, okay? You want to smoke weed, smoke weed. I don't want my taxes to go to it. No, I just don't want my taxes to go to it. I'm not saying outlaw anything. You're misconstruing my point. All I'm saying is I don't want my taxes to go to that, much like I don't want my taxes to go to abortion. Simple. So, if you want to smoke weed, your taxes should go to fund the police for that department that has to enforce looking at people, like finding people that are high and driving, or arresting people because they killed someone because they were high, or even with alcohol. Honestly, I don't drink. I don't get drunk and drive. Why should I pay for that? I'm not responsible for that. Those people who drink alcohol are responsible for it. I'm a responsible consumer of alcohol. I don't drink to excess. I don't support prohibition. No. Yeah, I'm sure they don't. Much like people say my taxes don't go to abortion. It's bullshit, troll. I'm sorry, but it's bullshit. It goes to the police force, and they use it for all those things, including enforcement of substance abuse. No, it does not. You're delusional if you think that legalizing weed saves money. It's the same argument I've heard about gambling when they wanted to put casinos in certain cities, and their whole argument was the city's going to have a boom of money coming in. The taxes go to everything. If you're that ignorant that you don't understand that taxes go to everything, including that shit, then the conversation is over. I have no reason to continue this conversation with you. Yeah, but if it's legal, it's even more encouraged. More people do it openly. The difference between smoking weed when it's illegal and doing it when it's legal is that when it's legal, you have more people doing it. The only thing that you're gonna wipe the floor on is your own tears because you have no idea what you're talking about. And you're just raging on right now. You're just rambling on. You're not giving me anything. No, it doesn't. When you legalize something, you encourage its use openly. Why do you think there's such a big problem with drinking and driving that they've had to do ad campaigns? You've had to do billboards. You had to go in schools and educate kids, don't drink and drive. They even put that stuff in video games. Winners don't do drugs. Stuff like that. Like whenever I went to the arcade as a kid, they hammered this propaganda in you. States make money gambling. Maybe, but not even. Depends on the corruption of the state. I can tell you, for example, in Metro Detroit, when they put the casinos in there, in Metro Detroit, they put casinos in there, and their whole argument was it's going to bring a whole boon of money into the city of Detroit. Guess what? The city of Detroit is still a shithole. It is not that self-funded, you moron. Everyone at the arcade was high, though. You may have a point there, MZ. But the point that I'm making is this, all right? My taxes for many, many years have gone to police forces, have gone to these government programs for educating people, to tell people, don't do stupid shit. Regardless of what the stupid shit is. It could be drinking, it could be drugs, it could be murder, it could be whatever. Like, whatever it is. Listen, if you want to smoke, if you want to do damage to yourself, be my guest. But I'm not going to pay for it. No, I'm not going to put people on voice. I'm not, this is not a call-in show. The point is that I'm not paying for it. I'm tired of having my taxes go to government programs that don't do shit for me. I don't have kids. Why am I paying for schools, for example? They are, listen, dude, they may say stuff like that on paper, but I promise you, in reality, how things work out, and it doesn't work out the way you think. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going on voice chat. This is my show. I decide who I talk to. Simple. My argument is a tax argument. My argument is that I'm taxed through the ass at the state level and the federal level. Herb, okay, Herb, I'm sorry, but you do pay for it. It's the same like I pay for schools, I pay for the fire departments, I pay for the police, I pay for all these other government programs that are useless to me, that don't do anything for me. I'm a firm believer in itemized taxation. Actually, that's my whole argument. My whole argument is I should be able to see where all my money is going, and I should be able to choose what I want my money to go to. My point is accurate. I'm talking about taxes. Well, take your alleged win. You know, I don't care. It's not a matter of winning or losing. It's a matter of what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is that I have seen these arguments in other forms. Listen, as I said, I have seen these arguments made in other forms. I've seen this argument made for abortion. I've seen these arguments made for gambling. I've seen these arguments made for other things. And at the end of the day, these taxes aren't going where you think they go. This so-called profit isn't going where you think they go. Because all the licensing fees, all the taxes that go to the police, the new departments to or the expansions of departments to enforce this stuff, all the corrupt politicians that put money in their pockets over this thing. Like I told you with the whole city of Detroit thing, the Metro Detroit area where they put in the casinos, the city didn't see a dime. I don't even, listen. Police don't, how can police save, if they have to expand departments, for example, if they have to add more police force to enforce this now, because now not only are people drinking, they're smoking shit too. So now they got to expand their force to work on this thing. That's salary, that's money, and it's not coming just from those taxes. So You're incorrect. Yeah, because the tax structure for weed is just oh so unique and different. Taxes are taxes, dude. Government is government. Wake up. Anyways, I'm done with this thing. My point is made and my point is clear. I don't need to stick my head in the sand in it. It's clear. As a taxpayer, however it's structured and however it's bracketed out and however it's distributed, I am not in the know. In the sense that they just tell me this is what I gotta pay and that's what I pay. So my money goes to police departments. Does it not? It does. Since it goes to police departments, that means I am paying for the police force. And that means I'm paying for everything that the police force does. So if they have revenue that comes from weed taxes, good for them, but my money is still going there, though. Actually, that's untrue. If there wasn't a noticeable increase, why would you have to put billboards up? Why would you have to start educating people to not do that? Your arguments make no sense. If there is nothing noticeable, no noticeable change, then that means you wouldn't have to educate people about it. You wouldn't have to tell people about it. Except that you do, because now more people are smoking and using weed and eating gummy bears and eating all and doing that stuff. I've learned plenty about it. I was involved in cannabis conferences to help businesses start up. Dude, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I've seen stuff from the inside. So you clearly are just, listen, you clearly know just all this little pro-cannabis bubble of information that I've seen from the inside. I've talked to people who try and help businesses and accountants and such set up to run these things. So you don't know, okay? I'm against taxation for that stuff. That's what I'm against, Janny. Listen, if you want to abuse a substance and you want to make yourself like stupid, be my guest. Listen, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? You really don't. Making it just legal and then everything is just the same, that is not how it works. That's not how it works. That is the stupidest argument in the world. Well, it's just legal now. Nothing else has changed. No, a lot has changed. No, I'm not going to set up a debate. I have other shit I got to worry about. I'm not going to debate over weed, of all things. Weed is dumb. Drugs are dumb. People that abuse substances, I'm sorry, that's dumb. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm just saying I've seen information. I've seen insider information. I've seen people organize to like help accountants and inform accountants how to structure this sort of stuff. I've seen the financial like restructuring of weed businesses and how accountants need to handle this stuff. I've seen how these pro cannabis organizations help businesses put together like a cannabis distribution store, for example, or shop. So I have gotten some information on the inner workings of this sort of thing. But again, to me, what it boils down to is my own money. Yeah, listen, you're not addressing my points. You're just trying to, you know, incite me to get you on so you can say whatever the crap you want to say, and I'm not going to do that. So that point is done. We're going to move on. because actually it's almost lunchtime anyways. So I don't want to dwell on this nonsense anymore. I want to talk about other stuff. So on a side note, what is up with all these people saying that Trump incited elections? I mean, you had Schumer say it, now a CNN host said it. What's going on here? John Berman from CNN. I mean, there is kind of a difference between the word insurrection and erection. Like, how? Okay, they're similar, I guess, in a way, but I'm just finding it very hilarious that people keep saying that. Oh, hey, Andrew Yang tested positive for COVID-19. Gee, was he wearing a mask all this time and following all the protocols? Gee, I thought all those protocols were supposed to prevent that sort of thing, wasn't it? You may have a point there, Janny. It's not necessarily my money. The government lets you have some of their money. Even if I were correct, I'm a massive hypocrite. Okay, then I'm a massive hypocrite. Boo hoo hoo. It's my show. I can do whatever the fuck I want on my show. I'm not a hypocrite. And even if I wanted to be a hypocrite on my show, it's my show. I'm allowed to be a hypocrite on my show. What's it to you? I'm not scared to debate anybody. This is not a debate show. Okay? I'm not interested in turning this into a debate show. This is not the format for it. There's a time and a place for that sort of thing, and I'm not interested in debating right now. Okay? I have other stuff I need to worry about in my life, much less debating nonsensical points about weed. That's what it boils down to. I don't care about this stuff. It's not that important to me that I need to spend all this time discussing it. New York State, really? So the New York State Senate Democrats block a subpoena for nursing home fatality data. Jeez, that's ridiculous. That's another news item that just came up here. You know, to me, it's just Cuomo's a murderer. That's it. The guy would knowingly and willingly put COVID positive people in senior homes. In the midst of the most vulnerable of people. He's a fucking murderer. I don't care. That's what happens when you have people like Cuomo in power. Or people like whatever her face is in Chicago. You know, January 2021 homicides his 4-year high in Chicago, thanks to this moron that's running it right now. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. And then when people want some honesty, want some data, this is what happens. People get blocked. Subpoenas get blocked. You can't look at information. You can't look at the data because they're trying to hide their crimes. They're trying to hide their misdeeds. People like Cuomo, he should be indicted for he should have one count for every single person that he murdered. I'm not going to debate this thing. We already had a debate, and you lost. So we're done. There's no reason to debate this any further. Because you're arguing one thing, and I'm arguing something else, and you keep conflating what I'm saying. So there's no point in continuing an argument if you don't even have the good faith effort to take what I'm saying at face value. The first rule of debating is that you have to stick to the point. And I've stuck to my point. I made it very clear that my issue is where my issue lies. You want to conflate it to something else. I don't talk shit about you. I've never talked shit about you. I've never talked shit about anybody. Except Cuomo. But he deserves it. And de Blasio, because he deserves it. You, people on Bitwave, I don't talk shit about people on Bitwave. Except that one guy that, whatever his face, I don't remember his name right now, is that guy that does the Omegle trolling who pretends to be Catholic. That guy, I'll talk shit about him day in and day out. That guy's not Catholic. Lysar? Lysar. I think you meant liar, right? Listen, we're not going to agree on this. There's no point in debating because we're not going to agree on this. My whole argument is it stems from one point. Your whole argument stems from something else. We're not going to see eye to eye on it, so I'm not going to waste time debating it. That's it. No, I'm not going off topic. I am talking about evidence. Okay, I take back that I called you a moron. Okay? I shouldn't have called you a moron. I take that back. I'm willing to admit that. And you haven't debated all my points. All you said is, it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. Without providing me a shred of any sort of evidence. And I've given you a clear-cut example of like the gambling issue in Detroit, for example, where none of the money went back into the city. All right, listen, I've tried to be cordial. I've even retracted myself calling you a moron. No, the point of debate is to acknowledge and discuss. You're not acknowledging anything that I'm saying, and you're dismissing everything that I'm saying. You don't have to agree with me, but you have to at least respect my point. You don't respect my point, I have no reason to debate you. Simple. I'm talking to you right now. You've derailed my stream, and I'm actually addressing you directly. If I weren't addressing you, and I just clicked on your name and muted you, you would have every reason to be upset. I'm not giving you an equal platform. You've taken over my stream. You've taken over my stream. How is that not an equal platform? All right, listen. When you stop PMSing and you get your panties unwadded, then we can have a conversation here. Hey, Nietzsche nigga, how you doing? Welcome to the stream on YouTube. How you doing, sir? I've spoken to you already. I'm not going to entertain this any further, and if you keep going, I will mute you. All right? Because I'm going to get off the stream anyway soon. It's already lunchtime, and lunchtime is when I usually stop. So all you're doing is wasting time right now. That's it. You're wasting my time, and you're wasting the time of my handful of listeners. Oh, it's your birthday on Friday, dude? Hey, happy early birthday. I'll probably be streaming, so I can probably wish you again. If you remind me, I'll probably forget. Remind me, and I'll wish you a happy birthday on stream as well. So, you got to do a big party, dude? I hope you do a big party. That's Herb. Herb Bud Green. I don't know if the H is silent. Is the H silent? Is it herb or herb? You guys can fight amongst yourselves in chat. Well, I'm sorry you lost respect for me, Herb. I'm just saying I would like, no matter what. Listen, let me say this. If my city, county, state, and federal government showed me where my taxes were going, and they showed me that none of my taxes are going to where I don't want them to, then I would say, okay, I see that the state is willing to show me where my money is going. And if I see that it's going in places that I don't want, then I can say I don't want it to go there and I want it to go here instead, into places that I do want it to go to. So we wouldn't even have to have this debate if government were more honest. But unfortunately, we don't have a government that cares. We don't have a government that's honest, and we don't even have a real government anymore. So all this is moot at this point, in all honesty. Anyways, moving on. Last thing I want to talk about is George Conway, this piece of shit. When I see people like George Conway, I think of Full Metal Jacket. You know, the whole scene where he goes, "I didn't know they stack shit that high." That's kind of how I feel about George Conway. So this guy is a co-founder of the Lincoln Project, of course. John Weaver is another co-founder. They penned an op-ed together, and he says, I don't have any close ties to John Weaver because John Weaver was like soliciting boys. He's a pedophile. So now he's doing all this damage control, distancing himself, saying, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know this guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him." My whole thing about weed has always been related to taxes. That was my argument from the very beginning. If you listened to my streams before, which I know you have, Herb, I've said this other times before, that I don't like my taxes going to things that I don't like. Simple. I should have a say where my money goes. I don't have a lot of money. I should have a say where they go. So speaking of not having a lot of money, if you like the stream, you want to support me, I have to do some shameless self-promotion before I end my stream. Buy me a coffee, or send me some crypto, or support me some way. And also make sure that you follow me on the various platforms, because just like what happened today. Like with DLive's not working, so that's why it's important that you follow me on multiple platforms, not just one. Like if you were on DLive, you're out of luck right now because I can't stream on there. So on Float, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Periscope, on whatever, make sure you follow me, and so when I stream. My taxes go to the police department. Will you let it go? Do my taxes not go to police departments? Yes or no? It's not that difficult. Nietzsche, oh geez, your sister has Corona, Chan? I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. Hope everything, hope she recovers and you guys can have a big old party. Okay, I see you're not answering my question. So with that, I will close the stream, and I will wish everyone a great day because it's lunchtime, and I want to try and get some lunch together some way somehow. So I want to thank everybody for watching on the various platforms that I'm on. Hopefully, we'll have D Live working next time tomorrow, and I still haven't figured out a nice catchphrase to end my stream in. So I guess we'll just do bye for now, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, kids.